Hey, Kenny, when Saturday happened and the postponement comes about, just what's the reaction as you're kind of watching the team take it all in and deal with it and, figuring out what the next step is as you guys turn your attention to Virginia?
Well, I think for us, an opportunity to get better, an opportunity to compete, and that's what every competitive athlete wants to do is compete. So I think everybody was down, but at the same time, you have to look at it as where are we going to go from here? And that same day, like I told our guys, that same night, what are you doing to get better? Right? Don't waste today. And that was the message Coach talked about. We had kids. We got back to the stadium. We're out there working out. We had kids that were going back up there getting treatment. We had guys that didn't want to waste the day. And I think that was the mindset of our football team was, okay, what can we now do to get better? And what can we now do to move forward? And I think a lot of our guys took advantage of that time to get treatment, to get out on the field, get some work in, and to try to improve their game.
Usually on a Sunday, part of what you guys do is correcting mistakes from the game. Since you didn't have that, were you able to get any kind of head start on Virginia, or was it more still focused on yourselves?
We got a little bit more of a head start on Virginia, but it was more focused on ourselves, spent a little more time in meetings, going back to base installs, getting kids back up on the whiteboard and worrying about, can they teach us the offense? Worrying about how well do we know the base principles of what we're doing. So we took a little bit of time, at least in our meeting room offensively, going back to kind of some fundamentals to make sure we're continuing to build off of those. And then we spent the same amount of time that we would normally spend on the opponent on Virginia. But us as a staff definitely got a little bit of a jump start, not having to look at the old game tape. We got about a 2.5, 3 hour jump start, not including, when you're laying there watching games on Saturday, getting able to put the iPad on and watch some of them as well.
What are the challenges of Virginia's defense? What is it that they do well? And I know they lost a Snowden kid to a broken ankle, so I know that's a big loss for them.
They're physical, and they're multiple. So I think the combination of physical at the point of attack, big physical dudes want to stop the run, and then they're multiple in the looks they present. They present the same coverage, but they do it in 3 to 4 different ways with different people playing different spots in the picture. So I think they do a remarkable job of, for them, I could see how they could teach their dudes, their players very simply. They could say, hey, this is the same, except you're playing this spot, you're playing this spot, you're playing this spot. But for an offense, you're having guys move all over the place on defense. So I think they do a remarkable job being complex, but I can see how it is simple and how they have a system built to be, complex and simple at the same time, which is a sign of good coaching. So it's a big challenge for us. And like I said, they're big and physical up front, and they're going to force you to move them and double team them to run the football.
Hey, I'm just curious because Mike talked about this a little bit too. When Dabo kind of suggested that there was some sort of alternative or nefarious reason for the game not being played that had nothing to do with COVID, just as a coach who's preparing all week, who's dealing with those players throughout the week and getting them ready to play, what kind of comes to your mind when you hear comments like that? And I mean, is there any coach or player who would be, looking to duck a game, I guess, for lack of a better word?
I'm looking to compete every opportunity I get. I know our players are looking to compete every opportunity they get, and we're excited to go out there and compete versus Virginia this week, and we're excited, to host Clemson at Toke here in a few weeks.
I guess, I was kind of pretty much going to ask what David asked, but as a competitor, when people imply, certain words, mean something more to certain competitors, but when you hear, implications of being scared or forfeiting a game, what is your reaction as a competitor?
We're going to go play every game, and we're going to try to win everything we do. We're going to compete. We're going to compete. We're going to compete regardless of what it is. I'm not too concerned about what other people say. I've never been concerned about what other people say. If we listened to what other people said here, we'd probably be living under a rock. It wouldn't be a lot of positive right now. But at the end of the day, we're worried about us. And we're worried about us getting better. And that's why Saturday, when you walked into that locker room, guys showed up with their suits on, walking off the bus. They took their suits off, and they went in and got treatment. Some guys went out on the field and ran gassers. That is the sign of the competitive spirit that our guys are learning to get. It wasn't, oh, let me just go back to my room. It was, okay, what is the challenge to get better today? And the opportunity to play football wasn't there, right? But that doesn't mean the opportunity to improve wasn't. And I was proud of how some of our guys, the majority of our guys, took Saturday as an opportunity to get better in whatever way, shape, or form they could. They maximized that day.
Coach Norvell said Jordan was going to be available at least in some capacity Saturday had there been a game. Obviously, you wished you could have played, but what do you think kind of that week maybe not playing can do for his availability, his health going into the Virginia game?
Well, I don't think the lack of playing Saturday is really going to have much impact on where he stands for the Virginia game. I just think it's the gradual improvement of him. And he was ready to go out there and contribute last Saturday, and he'll be ready to go out there and contribute this Saturday.
Coach, I guess, since we last talked to you, Chubba has now been ruled out for the remainder of the season. Just having, I guess, Jordan and Tate as your scholarship available quarterbacks, I mean, what does that do in terms of having a game plan and create something that both the guys can execute despite maybe having different skill sets?
I think it definitely makes it, I don't want to use the word, I'm going to use the word challenging, but I don't think it's a great word to use. It makes it challenging, but unique is probably a better word, because it's going to really put pressure on us to, like you said, play to both of their strengths, which they are different players, but also play to our football team strengths. So we also have 4 freshman linemen that are going out there. So being able to take all of those elements and put together a plan that we can execute, but also plays to the strengths of both quarterbacks. So I think that's the challenge of, got to be simple so we can go out there and get 10 hats on 10 hats and find the one-on-one, right? But we've got to have enough versatility to put our younger guys in position to be successful and not have to win one-on-one blocks all game, or not have to throw one-on-one throws all game, or win one-on-ones at wideouts. So that balance of where, with Tate on the field, what one-on-one do we want? With Jordan on the field, what one-on-one do we want? And how can we schematically put our guys up front in the best situation to win their one-on-one? So I do think that changes based off who plays quarterback, and I think that is the challenge this week.
I know you said that, you're not concerned necessarily what other people are saying. But, young players are, they hear what's being said on Twitter. Some of them got involved in some stuff on Twitter on Saturday. Is there a chance that this could be something that the guys kind of rally around and kind of bring them together? The fact that they feel like they're being doubted or their manhood is being questioned, or however you want to put it?
I mean, there's always that thought. I mean, today in the social media world, you don't know what they're reading. I mean, they're reading things that, somebody said something the other day about an article, and I'm like, where did you find that? And I don't even know if this was a real website, but our kid's reading it, So there's so much stuff that they're reading and hearing, and some of it's true, some of it's not. They've got no clue, honestly. They're just reading it. And for us, it's our growth is the ability to block that all out, because we shouldn't need other people to tell us how to work. LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, the greats, great people, great competitors don't need to be told how to work. They know how to work. They know what it took to get there. They know what it takes to be successful. And I was talking to Cam McDonald the other day about the difference between, great people and good is good people love it when people see them succeed. They compete that way they can have success, and people tell them how good they are. I said, great people love this, the daily success. They love going out to practice and winning a one-on-one. That is what drives them, because you can't be great just wanting to be good on game day, right? You can be good, but you can't be great. And finding that drive in every single person to say, I'm going to go out there today and I'm going to be the very best I can be. I don't care what people see. I don't care what people do. I'm going to go and get treatment better than anybody else in the country. And nobody's going to talk about it, but it's going to make me the best I can possibly be. And that's what we're trying to instill in our guys is it's not about what anybody says. It's about you. It's you versus you every day. Who's going to win?
Do you think that's emphasized on what you saw Saturday when the kids decided to go work out on their own? Like, do you think that would have happened in September if a game had just postponed, the kids voluntarily going and doing what they need to do?
I do not. I think it's growth in the football team. I think it's a belief in the core that who we have on our football team right now and the belief in what we're doing. And like I said, couldn't be more happy about it.
Any other questions for Coach? All right. That'll do it for Coach.
Thank y'all. Have a great day. I tried to throw in the dope. You know what I mean? In 2 weeks.